Please consider subscribing if you enjoy our content and want to see more from us.
Vitamin D is required for your body to absorb calcium and stimulate bone formation. In children, too little vitamin D causes rickets, while in adults, too little vitamin D causes weak, deformed bones, osteocalcin. Vitamin D is also required for a variety of other bodily functions. Breast cancer, colon cancer, prostate cancer, heart disease, depression, weight gain, and other diseases have all been linked to vitamin D deficiency. These studies suggest that those with greater vitamin D levels have a decreased risk of disease, but they don't prove that a deficiency of vitamin D causes disease or that supplementing with vitamin D reduces the risk. The 10 most prevalent symptoms of vitamin D insufficiency will be discussed in this video. Keep an eye on the screen until the very end in order to prevent vitamin D deficiency. The first is bone pain, which can also manifest as back discomfort. Vitamin D aids in the absorption of calcium and other minerals in the intestine, which helps to build and protect bones. Vitamin D, on the other hand, works in tandem with parathyroid hormone to maintain calcium homeostasis in the body. When vitamin D levels in the blood dip, parathyroid hormones begin to release calcium from the bones to keep the body's calcium levels stable. The result of this is a disorder known as osteomalacia in adults, which is comparable to the condition known as rickets in children. As a result of this illness, bone discomfort develops. It might result in leg abnormalities or bone fractures in some cases. The lower spine, pelvis, legs, and feet are the most prevalent areas of generalized skeletal pain. Muscle discomfort comes in second. The active form of vitamin D is 125-dihydroxyvitamin D. This is made in the kidneys from 25-hydroxyvitamin D. In a study conducted by Tegan Smith on vitamin D receptor and enzyme expression in the dorsal root ganglia of adult female rats, it was discovered that the pain-sensing nerves in the muscles have the ability to produce the active form of vitamin D in the case of vitamin D deficiency, which contributes to muscle hypersensitivity and pain. It can be difficult to distinguish between muscle and bone discomfort at times. The pain in the bones is usually profound and dull. Muscle pain is milder than bone pain, and it develops as the muscles begin to work. Osteoporosis is ranked third. Vitamin D, as previously stated, has a direct relationship with bone health. Approximately 10 million Americans are thought to have osteoporosis, with 1.5 to 2 million osteoporosis-related fractures occurring each year. Vitamin D enhances bone health by keeping parathyroid hormone levels at a physiologically healthy range, which promotes bone mineralization and reduces fracture risk. Fatigue and exhaustion can be caused by a variety of factors. One of these could be a vitamin D deficiency. Women with blood levels of vitamin D less than 20 nanograms per milliliter were more likely to complain of fatigue than those with blood levels over 30 nanograms per milliliter, according to a large observational study. Anything less than 20 nanograms per milliliter is considered vitamin D deficient. This, on the other hand, could be a sign of poor energy in people who are deficient in vitamin D. 5. A depressed mood could also indicate a vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D receptors have been identified and located in the cerebral cortex and cerebellum of the brain in the 1-alpha-hydroxylase enzyme, which converts 25-hydroxyvitamin D to 125-dihydroxyvitamin D. Vitamin D deprivation caused a mutation in the vitamin D receptors in the brain, which led to sadness and other mood problems, according to the findings. Take a look to see if you have any of these mood disorders. If you answered yes, you should check your vitamin D level and consider taking a sun bath. 6. Hair loss is the most obvious symptom of vitamin D insufficiency. Vitamin D aids in the stimulation of both new and old hair follicles. When your body does not have enough vitamin D insufficiency has been related to alopecia, an autoimmune disease that results in bald patches on the scalp and other parts of the body. 7. Impaired wound healing. Low vitamin D levels can cause wounds to heal slowly following surgery or injury. Vitamin D is required for the proper functioning of cells in a variety of tissues, including epidermal keratinocytes. Vitamin D stimulates the production of epidermal and platelet growth factors, which aid wound healing. Vitamin D's involvement in reducing inflammation and fighting infection has also been proposed to be vital for effective wound healing. It was discovered that people with severe vitamin D deficiency had greater levels of inflammatory markers, which can jeopardize healing. 8. Frequently becoming ill or diseased. One of the most significant functions of vitamin D is to maintain your immune system healthy. As a result, you'll be able to fight off illness-causing viruses and bacteria. Low vitamin D levels may be a contributing cause if you become sick frequently, especially with colds or the flu. A relationship between a deficit and respiratory tract illnesses such as colds, bronchitis, and pneumonia has been discovered in multiple large observational studies. Taking vitamin D supplements at doses of up to 4,000 international units per day has been shown in several studies to lessen the incidence of respiratory tract infections. 9. Obstructive sleep apnea and insomnia are the most frequent sleep disorders in the general population. Insomnia is defined as the inability to get asleep and stay asleep. Obstructive sleep apnea is a condition in which the upper airway is repeatedly blocked, either completely or partially, during sleeping. The neuronal expression of 1-alpha-hydroxylase and vitamin D receptors in different brain locations, especially in regions that govern the sleep-waking cycle, such as the hypothalamus, plays a role in vitamin D's activity as a sleep modulator. Last but not least, there's the danger of cardiovascular disease. Vitamin D deficiency raises the risk of peripheral vascular disease, coronary artery disease, myocardial infarction, heart failure, and stroke by a significant amount. The role of vitamin D receptors in human systems is yet unknown, despite the fact that they are found in every cell in the body. It also conveys the point that vitamin D is extremely important in the human body. So remember to get enough of sun and eat vitamin D-rich foods.